this society is just, things are pretty easy. We can just live our day-to-day lives, go to the grocery store, pick out what we want, things like that. So it's just a great reminder to be able to do something like that and just, tell your body like you can do these hard things. So that way when something comes up that is, a little bit more difficult, probably not as difficult as hunting goats in Alaska like that, you just get a reminder that you can do tough things.
You are listening to the Run the Rack Outdoors podcast, where we take an all-in, leave no doubt approach to all things adventure hunting. From the big woods to the high country.
How about that?
Let's learn together as we discuss with our expert guests on what it takes to be successful in the backcountry. I'm your host, Weston Homa. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the Rack Outdoors podcast. This week, I got a very special episode. We were live from the Exo Mountain Gear studio with Jake Havlicek. So really cool episode. If you guys have followed Exo, you've probably seen some of their videos with Jake. Jake is their head marketing, social media, customer service guy. I don't really know your title there, Jake, but he kind of does it all. He wears a lot of hats, and you've probably seen him in a lot of Exo's content. If you haven't followed Exo, they make backcountry packs. Really awesome gear, and I just think Exo is one of those companies that are doing it right. So it was really cool to go to the shop, see the warehouse, just see everything, all the packs, everything getting put together, meeting the guys there, and just seeing it all right here in Idaho. So really cool stuff, and it was so awesome to just sit down with Jake. We really dive into the passion we have for hunting the mountains, all about the experience. Jake just got back from Kodiak, so we talk about the big group he went up there and hunted blacktail with. Sounded like an amazing adventure. And then I even picked Jake's brain too on his goat hunt in Alaska he did last year, because I remember watching that video when it came out on Exo's YouTube channel. Jake wrote an article for Western Hunter that was really good, and it was just one of those hunts where I think I even asked him, I was like, that just looked like a hunt that really encapsulated Exo, just all about the experience and what an amazing trip that looked like it was. So Jake shares all that, other hunting adventures. Again, we just chop it up all about the passion we have. And I think it was a really good episode. I was really happy to connect with Jake out here. Dude, if you're listening, really appreciate your friendship. And I think we're really like-minded in a lot of ways. So I don't know, man. I hope we get to do it again. And looking forward to keep in touch and maybe, share the mountain here at some point to chase deer, elk, or, whatever, man. But yeah, I really appreciate you, dude. And really appreciate everybody listening to this one. So other things I got going on for me personally, yeah, my hunting is wrapped up for the year. Holidays coming up. I'll be traveling back home to see my family. I mean, that's always nice. Make sure we're all spending time with the family. These are the things that are, most important. And other than that, though, just been training really hard. I think I'm wrapping up a 70-mile week here because I got some big race goals next year. I started to share a little bit about them. I'm running a 50K here outside of Boise in January. Really think I can put something together there. I got the Boston Marathon in April. Feels like a dream come true. I'm running that. And then I'm actually going to do that. And then 6 days later, run the Eugene Marathon in Oregon. So little East Coast, West Coast, back-to-back marathons. Really want to also, I don't know. Yeah, I can finish both. That's not really what I'm after. I really want to see, giving it my best effort and PR both of them. So I'm really thinking about 240, sub 240 in Boston, and then try to PR beat that in Eugene 6 days later. So that's going to be coming down the pipe. And then looking at 100-milers for next year and other ultras, and just, I don't know. This is just the time of year where I set goals for the next year and get all excited. So I got a lot of that stuff on my YouTube channel if this is your first time listening. So I like to share a lot of my training, my hunt films, and all about these races and stuff. So I have a bunch on my YouTube channel if you guys want to go check that out. I'm working on my Colorado high country buck hunt film. Going to get that on my YouTube here shortly. That was from this year. And then also my Idaho buck. I'll start editing that here soon. Put that up. And then I'll continue to share kind of all these races and the training and all these things that, I've been working for me. I just really love connecting with people and helping guys out. So hope you all enjoy it. It's pretty much it, though, from my end. I really hope you guys enjoy this one with Jake. I think it was a great conversation. And like I said, hope to keep up the friendship, Jake, and stay in touch. So it was awesome. All right, everybody. Let's have a great week. Let's work as hard as we can. Let's leave no doubt, and let's run the rack. All right, everybody. Thanks. See ya. Go Hunt has a single purpose: make it easier for hunters to get into the field. Hunting tags are only getting harder to obtain, and Go Hunt is a research platform helping navigate the ins and outs of drawing tags and researching hunts across the West. I've had a Go Hunt membership for years now, and I'm a big fan of the articles written on there by Brady and Trail. The content is next level stuff that has helped me a ton. From animal behavior to archery, they are sharing all the nuggets. I also love the hunt films on YouTube. They are extremely inspirational, and they'll make you want to get out in the mountains ASAP. Check out the Go Hunt Gear Shop, where they have everything you need for this coming hunting season. Use the code RACK, that's R-A-C-K, for 10% off eligible items in the shop. And you can use the code RACK for $50 in-shop credit when you join as an insider. So sign up for a membership and immediately get $50 back toward hunting gear. Check it out. You won't regret it.
It's a great Thursday morning. I'm glad we were able to make this happen. I know we've been talking about doing a podcast for the past 2 months. So just been busy, with going hunting and doing our sale. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to do this.
I know. It's been a busy fall, and I want to get all into it. Kodiak looked awesome. And I don't know, before we even get into anything, though, I want to hear a little bit of Jake's story. Everybody's seen you, on the content and stuff, but I don't know, dude. When did you start with Exo? Where are you from? How'd you get started here? And then to the position you are now, all the things.
Yeah.
Hear about it.
Yeah, so I've been with Exo for almost 9 years now.
Okay.
So I'm the third longest employee behind Steve and Mark.
And how old are you?
25. I'm
Okay.
26 in March. So yeah, my 9 years will be May of next year. So
Okay.
8.5 years right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Man, how did I start? I was 17 when I started. I was a junior in high school. And I was doing basically some online college courses during the summertime, trying to get ahead. Once I graduated high school, I was going to have some credit all ready to go. And forget how it happened. I have a little brother who's 9 years younger than me, and he's got, he had some friends, and those moms were basically one of his friends' moms was friends with one of the co-owners of Exo.
Okay.
Or with the wife.
Yeah.
Okay. And so anyways, we became Facebook friends, and she saw that I was friends with one of them, just friends, air quotes around that. And so anyways, she knew that I had an interest in the in Exo Mountain Gear and the outdoor industry. I've been hunting since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
So I've always loved hunting and everything. But yeah, about when I was 14 or 15, I really liked the hunting industry and wanted to be a part of it. Yeah. And then, so anyways, she saw that. And then a few months into that or whatever, we were approaching the summer, she reached out to my dad because she found out that Exo was they needed some summer help. Mm-hmm. And it was either do some summer help or do college class. And he knew that it would be great for me to get some job experience. So he told me about it. And Exo just needed some part-time help in the summertime just to build packs. And that was it. So he told me that, and you could imagine a 17-year-old. Yeah, I was jumping for joy.
Yeah.
So I took that, build packs. This was back in the K2 era. So we're all the way through K4 right now, 3 years into K4.
Right.
So I got to see a lot of the development of our pack systems. But yeah, I just started there doing, building packs and everything. And once the summertime kind of ended, I was like, I don't want to leave. This is so cool. This is a childhood dream right here. I'm working for Steve Speck and, Exo Mountain Gear, which is at that time, it was a really cool company still. Yeah. But we weren't as big as, I wouldn't say we're huge, but I mean, we definitely have gotten a really cool name in the industry, but we've always had just a really unique name. And I just wanted to be a part of that. It's been really cool to be a part of this company. But I told Steve, hey, is there any way I can go through my senior year? We're good?
We're good.
Go through my senior year and work part-time. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's make it happen. So yeah, I mean, just through then, I just started just showing how well I could adapt and build packs after I got off class. So yeah, every day I would get off school, I would basically have it set to where I'd, so when you're a senior here in Idaho, I don't know if it's the same, every other state, but if you have enough credits, you can basically get early release or late start. So I decided to do early release and get off early just to come in and work and build packs, just because I was so motivated to work here and show that I wanted to be here. Did that all the way through until I graduated high school, went into college. And then it was a 2 days off, 3 days on type of deal. So I worked 3 days and then 2 days off. I was doing college work, going into campus. I just went here at like College of Western Idaho, so it's just a local community college. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many little bits and pieces in there. I mean, I started taking on more roles, more responsibilities, and then kind of like, so 2020 happened, and then the end of 2020, we were starting to really get busier. You know, COVID happened, people started buying more packs as far as like, you know, just wanting to go outside and stuff like that. And I realized that, you know, there could be an opportunity that I could, you know, take on a full-time role. So I brought that up to Steve, and we sat down, and in 2021 is when I started full-time here at Exo, still doing college, but I kind of basically made it to where I was doing night classes and then took on customer service as a full-time position.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so between what Exo looks like now and back when you started, what are some of like the big differences? Because Exo has grown into like a really, I think, reputable brand in the industry. I know you just said you got the studio recently, but what did it look like from day one of Jake till now?
Oh man, I mean, lots of growth. I mean, I wouldn't say we've changed dramatically as a company. I mean, we've always just focused strictly on making backpacks. You know, we our company mantra is, you know, take care of the product, take care of the customer, and everything takes care of itself. I mean, we've been doing that since before I started. But yeah, I mean, just doing what we do best, and that's building the best pack systems. But, you know, it definitely has changed. I mean, obviously I've matured in the last 8 years. It's crazy. Actually, yesterday we were looking up some old videos of that I was like on like Born and Raised Outdoors. I had some videos of me when I was a teenager and all that. And it's just crazy to see the amount of maturity that, you know, I'm able to see in the last few years. But yeah, I mean, just lots of cool stuff that we've been able to do and adapt to and grow. You know, as a company, you just learn new things. You get better at, you know, how things work in the office. And it's just been awesome to be a part of this brand and see how well we're just crushing it, honestly.
And what's your title now?
So I'm the community manager now. So I oversee customer service, social media marketing. I oversee like our warranty and returns and guide and outfitter military discounts, like the whole discount program. So I see quite a bit, but I wouldn't say I came up with my role, but I did at the same time. Like I've always wanted to be like the community manager just because we have such a great community here at Exo. And I think that's definitely something that we needed to really capture and just show everybody, like, you know, we're all about our community, you know. And so, yeah, I kind of self-dubbed that role. But yeah, I mean, I still oversee all of our customer service and everything like that. We wear a lot of hats here at Exo. So there's not one person that does one thing. Everybody just does a bunch of stuff. But yeah, man, it's a dream come true for me. I love it. I'm happy.
What do you love most about your job?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, I wouldn't say there's one thing I love the most. There's a bunch of stuff I love. I mean, I love the ability to come in and work with just a bunch of great people. You know, Steve, Justin, Pat, Mark, the rest of the crew. They're just awesome to work with. I love them. I love that. I love talking to customers. Honestly, I think that's, if I were to pick one thing, it'd be, you know, taking phone calls. I mean, I've been doing customer service for almost 5 years now, full time. I mean, I've been doing it since 2017. I've talked to a lot of people. You know, Mark does help, and basically, quote unquote, took that over from him in about 22, 23, because he was still like full time. He managed it when I came on full time. But yeah, now that I oversee it all, I talk to a lot of people. But yeah, that's probably my favorite thing, is just getting people fitted up into a pack. Because, you know, with our packs, you know, they're not cheap. They're roughly $700, say $700 for the 5,000 pack system. And so it's really cool to really hear a lot of the people who save up their hard-earned money and are wanting to buy one of our pack systems. And so just going over the details, the hip belt sizing, the frame height, all of that, and then talking about what hunts they're going to be going on. Like that's probably my favorite part. And then them getting it 2, 3, 4 months later, send me some photos. That's pretty cool of them packing out a mule deer or an elk hunt that, you know, they've been planning for quite a while. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. I think it's a special experience. It's a big deal when you get a backcountry pack. It's an investment. You know, it's like your out-of-state elk tag. You know, it's an investment. It's something people are going to work for. And then where that pack's going to take you, all those places, I think is just like such a special thing. And I think your brand does that just really well and encompasses that. Because if you think of most of the customers, it's that guy who, I mean, I have a regular job too. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not just a regular guy, but you think about the blue collar guy from like back east, Midwest, wants to go out west, like the mountains. It's just like this pinnacle thing. Yeah. Because that was me. So much so I moved out here. I loved it so much. And then you just start making those first investments. And a lot of those first investments is a pack. You know, that blue collar guy might get 2 weeks off work. He's going to go get his over the counter elk tag. He's got his Exo pack. He's ready to go. And it's just a special thing. It's a big deal.
It really is. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I love it. And yeah, just be able to share that whole process with the customer too, and just let them know like we have their backs. Like we don't care about just the sale and that's it. We're always following up. Mark and I and Steve, Justin, we're all doing as much as we can to just continue to, just educate our customers.
Right.
Continuing all the how-to videos, overview videos, just little tips and tricks, things like that. Like we want people to really be able to know our packs and just understand them and use them to their max potential.
And the podcast too. The podcast has been around for so long. I've been listening to it forever, Steve and Mark, and just the amount of knowledge you can get. I mean, the number one thing that's going to teach you is getting time out in the field for sure. But like I said, if you're a guy out of state, whatever, never elk hunted or mule deer hunted before, whatever, you got to start somewhere and start to educate yourself. That podcast has helped so many people get their foot in the door and just give them kind of that activation and energy of like, okay, I got a few nuggets here from Steve and Mark, and like I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And then it's just such a great thing because when you do have somebody that's so helpful like that has like taught you a lot, even though you never even met them, you just hear them every week on a podcast, but they kind of teach you everything you know. Then you go out and, hunt your elk and have a great experience. And then it's like, dude, I want to buy your pack. You know what I mean? Like, how can I support you back? So
Absolutely.
I just think you guys are crushing it. That's how you run a good bit. I mean, what do I know? But I think that's how you run a good business.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, they've been doing that podcast like since before I started here. Like they started in 2014 or 15, and it's just been consistency.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's like Joe Rogan.
I was listening to the podcast when I was a sophomore in high school in math class. I remember like vividly of just, doing work and listening to the podcast, the old Exo podcast. I remember the old introduction songs that we used to have too. But yeah, I mean, just consistency, man. And yeah, Mark and Steve have just done an incredible job of keeping it going and just finding new people, new topics to talk about. It's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to get into, because we've had a busy fall.
Yeah.
And I always hate texting you because one, I know you're always out running around doing something with Exo, and two, you're always on the phone, you're always busy. So I'm finally glad we got to like settle down and do this, but you have been busy.
Yes.
Was in Kodiak recently.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it, dude, because that looked pretty epic.
Yeah, first off, I apologize. I am always on my phone.
And I said, you never need to apologize. Busy's good. That's what I said.
Whenever I get off work, I'm just like, all right, put my phone away, focus on what I need to get done at the house. And I definitely, I'll let a few texts from friends sit and marinate for maybe a little bit too long. It's a bad habit that I've gotten. It's just, being always on the phone and everything. It's good to have a little bit of space. So I appreciate it. But yeah, Kodiak, man, we went, what is it, December 11th? So yeah, we went a month ago. Yeah, it's crazy how time flies. We've been prepping for that trip all at the start of this year. Well, really, really around the summertime. But yeah, we went to Kodiak. For those who are listening, so Steve Speck owns Exo Mountain Gear and S&S Archery. S&S Archery is ran by Rob. Rob, at the start of this year, got diagnosed with throat cancer. And so it was it was a scary time. I mean, you hate seeing one of your friends, really close friends here, struggle through something like that. For him, man, I mean, he's got the heart of a warrior. I mean, he came in every day, as many days as he possibly could, going through the treatment, the chemo, the radiation. It was incredible. I mean, I don't see how anybody else could, I don't know that many people that could do what he did as far as go through a battle of cancer and still come in and work. Most people would just take the time. I mean, I think I would too. But anyways,
people talk about doing hard things in life and things like that. That's hard.
Yeah. It was just,
so that's,
yeah. He was just like, I'm not going to let this define who I am. I'm going to keep coming in. I'm going to keep doing my thing. And I mean, he definitely had his days where it was tough for him. So anyways, this whole Kodiak trip was to kind of, show Rob like, hey dude, we're here for you. So like this whole deal, like we put a GoFundMe together for him, raise money just to help him and his wife, just with, the unexpected costs of the cancer treatments and all of that. And then Steve said like, hey, if you're feeling good, like I want to take you out to Kodiak, shut down the whole office, most of the office, basically all of us office guys, all the guys who hunt here in the office went. We still kind of operated in the back end. And we were able to make it out to Kodiak. It was just this whole trip was dedicated to Rob. We wanted him to get the deer. We wanted him to just experience everything all of us getting tags and, shooting bucks or getting fish. That was just behind the curtain. Like, we didn't care if that happened. All we cared about
Right.
was Rob. So yeah, we were able to head out there. I mean, it was just the best trip you could imagine. I mean, we went with just awesome people. So everybody here at Exo, like I said, Pat, me, Steve, Mark, Justin, Rob, and then 2 other buddies of ours, Will and Nick. So it was 8 of us. We went out and just had a great time, man. I mean, from day one, we started just shooting bucks and just having a really good time in the field. And then on the days we weren't hunting, we were out fishing and just catching a pile of cod, halibut, sea bass, all of that stuff. It was fun. Yeah.
I've heard that's kind of like a really big ancillary benefit to that kind of trip. Like, that fishing is also really fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, it was really cool. So yeah, on day one, that was like obviously the most important day because that's where Rob got to hunt and shoot his buck. I'm not going to get into too many of the details because we're actually releasing a video on the Exo
enough.
YouTube. But I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. I mean, it's just, I will say, like, we've only had like a few videos come out on YouTube, and we did our Alaska series, which we can talk about later too. But this one's going to be awesome. It's different. And Justin, he's been doing video editing and just creating awesome videos for hunting, the past 10 years, and he has a really good eye for that. But anyways, yeah, on day one, Rob was able to get out with Steve, Justin, and Nick, and they were able to get him just, a beautiful I think it was a 3x2 or 3x3, just an awesome buck. And I heard it was just awesome. I got to see it. I wish I was there in person. I wish everybody was there, but you just can't do that. But, yeah, I mean, Will and I, we brought the bows and we struggled a little bit with the bows. Yeah, Rob got one, Nick got one that day. Pat got one on the other side across the bay. So yeah, I mean, there was 3 bucks down in the first day. We were like, holy cow. Like, it was better than the last trip that those guys went on in 23. They only shot 1 buck. There was only 6 guys, but just the deer numbers were not the greatest. Anyways, I mean, the rest of the trip, I'm trying to think. It was
Weather?
What? Yes, we did. Yeah, weather was pretty good. Actually, we got a good amount of snow. The wind was ripping. There was some cold mornings for sure, but it wasn't terrible. The year I went in so I've been 2 times this year, and then in 2021, that was a really cold one. Like, it felt like it was 10 degrees on some mornings, and just the wind just ripping your face. I mean, even this trip, I mean, my skin is just super sensitive. Like, you get back from the hunt, my face is just red from just being wind burnt. But that trip had a lot more snow. This one, we got a little bit of weather. We got the weather on the days that I was the dedicated hunter, which was
Of course.
terrible. Like, I mean, me and Steve were the only ones who didn't fill our tags. We were a little bit, I hate using the word picky. I mean, I've killed blacktail before, and I just didn't want to shoot a small forky or something like that. I don't know. I just wanted to hunt and have fun, and really I didn't care about just killing something to kill it. Like, I was just going out there. I think we did like 30 total miles, and 30 miles is a lot in Kodiak. Like, because it's just steep country, just lots of elevation gain and loss. But yeah, we had a great time there. And every time I hunted, it was, just terrible weather. I ended up dropping the bow after the second day. So I only hunted with the bow 2 days. Will and I both did. And then we were like, yeah, I mean, it can definitely be done. I say this in the video, it can definitely be done, but you need a lot of luck on your side. Like, it's super thick, super brushy. Those deer are always moving. You got so many eyes because, I mean, those deer are everywhere. I mean, you definitely have to be in a right spot to where you can be in a pinch point where they can be moving and make it happen. And I don't know, I was just getting a little tired of dragging it around and busting it up I mean, I got a brand new Hoyt. I was like, don't really want to keep busting this thing up. I did end up falling once. Just, it was slippery in the morning. Just, basically the mountain hadn't defrosted. And I remember we were hiking up this hill, and I just fall right directly on my bow, and I just land on everything, the sight, the rest, just, oh man, I felt terrible. I'm like, man, I hope this thing's still good. We ended up shooting it that night, and we were still dialed, but I was like, you know what, like, carrying that thing, just holding it up above your head, going through that brush. I was like, let's just bring the rifle. And so yeah, anyways, so we both dropped the bows, grabbed the rifles. We went out. Will shot the best buck of the week. It was just this, we called it a Sitka muley. I mean, this thing was a nice 4x4, or 4x3. I mean, it was a stud. And then, we kept going at it for me. And then, my 2 days, the first dedicated day was just crazy fog. Couldn't see past more than, 100 yards at times. It was just, oh man, it was frustrating. Like we'd have a little bit of sliver, a little sliver where I can shoot this buck, but we weren't recording. Finally got, hit record, and then boom, that, either the buck moved or the fog rolled in some more. That was the name of the game on that one. It was funny too. There was a kind of a nice forky that I wasn't going to shoot with the rifle, but it was at like 30 yards. It would have been just an epic bow shot. So I thought that was funny. And then the last day, so yeah, I mean, we hunted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, we hunted 3 days straight, or no, Sunday. Yeah, so 4 days straight, Sunday through Wednesday, 4 days straight. And then I was like, all right, I need some fishing. So we fished on Thursday, got a little bit of a break, and then Friday we gave it one last hoorah for me. And I went with Mark, Pat, and Justin, and we tried. And there was another nice buck, and we had a 5-second window, and that was it. And just that was a pretty gnarly windy day too. But yeah, so nothing for me on that hunt. But I mean, it's just so incredible going in there. I mean, I think if anybody's in the right financial position to do that hunt, like don't get me wrong, it's you definitely have to save a few pennies to go on a hunt like that. But it's really cool if you're able to get a good group of guys, because that's what that whole trip is about, is just sharing camp. I use air quotes around the camp because you're in a lodge, but it's kind of like a gentleman's hunt. You hunt your butt off, you go fishing, you just go have fun. You come back, you get cooked, you get these awesome 5-star dinners, breakfasts, and you hang out in the lodge for a couple hours and just laugh. We played poker. We were just giggling, laughing, having fun. It was a great time. It was one of my favorite hunts. Yeah, top 3 for sure.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Every year I keep finding myself like day 6, 7, 8, like living out of my like bivvy tent, and I'm just like, God, one of those hunts doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah,
like to throw one in every now and then.
Yeah, it's okay to not struggle camping every once in a while. Like it's just a good.
It's not like tough hunting.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, I mean you get off the boat, you get dropped off, and you're just hiking straight up. 1,500 feet, boom, and then another 500, and then another 500, just depending on where you're going. And yeah, I mean that Devil's Club, all that just thick brush, just smacking you in the face and the chest. It's not easy by any means, but it's just definitely a fun hunt. It's great, like Steve's talked about on our podcast before, like how it's definitely something where you can go and just get kills under your belt, just get that experience, because there's a lot of deer there, where you can just go in and get into a lot of rut activity, and it's fun.
I've heard guys going as early as August, I feel like, and then now, like you said, in November.
Yeah.
Was there a certain reason why you picked November, or did that kind of just like work out with the business?
I think it just works out with how we have it. We have this allotted. We told Foxtail Lodge is who we go through. Steve and Mark have been using them since 2019 is when they first went. And so they told Jerry, the owner, and Nolan, who's like the captain or the deckhand, that they want like that one November week slotted for us. And if we don't go, we'll give it to like a group of friends or whatever that do want to go. I don't know why we haven't done August. I know actually Mark and Steve and Justin wanted to maybe do August this year. Just with scheduling conflicts, we weren't able to make it happen. But I think that would be really fun, hunting those high country Sitka blacktails, with velvet on them. I know like Brad Brooks with Argali, he's done that before with the bow, and a couple other people have. But I think just in November, obviously it's that rut. You can see them moving a little bit more, and just the opportunity presents itself a little bit better.
I have not been to Alaska yet.
Oh, really?
But I have a moose hunt 2027, me and my cousin. Yeah, we booked this a few years ago. Yeah, you got to save money. You got to really forward think. My cousin's, saving up too. We talk about it all the time, and going to make it happen.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I've been super fortunate to be able to go to Alaska as many times as I have, and I'm only 25. And I credit that to, I thank Steve for the opportunities that have presented itself to go to Alaska. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't work here for that company. Or for Exo. It's just, it's super cool. But so I recommend everybody going to Alaska and just doing that. Obviously, if the funds allow that, allow you to do that, I totally understand. Life happens. Right. You need to prep, you need to plan. Again, I've just been able to go a few times, and it's incredible. It's a whole different level of hunting than what we have here in Idaho. It's difficult for sure, but it's fun. You get to see some country that you could never imagine before.
Did you get in any bears?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did see. We actually got, so on the day where we went and killed Will's buck. So we were both we were both carrying the rifles. We went up the same drainage or same trail to that Rob and Nick went up and killed their bucks on the first day. And so we went up that same exact path. And when we kind of got to this opening, I looked to my left, and those guys, Justin, Nick, and Will, they are gone. Like they have just unlimited stamina. It was just so funny that whole trip. There's just many jokes about how Justin never eats when we hunt. He's just go, 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 go. But anyways, so they're going, and I'm like, come on, like we're glassing. And I look to my left, and there's a sow and 2 cubs right on the kill of Rob's. And so, yeah, we had to be methodical of how because we literally wanted to get to right where those 3 bears were.
And these are brown bears?
Yeah,
okay,
Kodiak brown bears. So, yeah, I mean, they're not as aggressive, so I've heard.
But they're bigger.
But they're big. Oh, my gosh, they're massive. Those cubs are as big as black bears here in Idaho. I mean, it's just unreal. I'm not much of a bear guy. I've never been a huge bear hunter. So, I mean, size and judgment, I'm not.
I do hunt them.
Okay.
And it is still hard to judge them.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they're kind of by themselves. And
Yeah,
sure.
I've just never gotten that bear bug before. Like Justin, he's just an avid bear hunter. I don't know. My dad killed a bear in 2012. He killed a really nice bear here in Idaho, and they ended up cooking it, and they ended up getting sick. Him and my mom. I actually never had it. Yeah, they cooked it full temp, so it wasn't like trichinosis or whatever. So we just think it was like mixed with bad pork. But even though I didn't have it, I mean, they were up late at night, sick, throwing up, and that just ruined them. And then me, like as a 12-year-old, when that happened, just ruined me too.
Scarred.
I've had a few meals with bear, but like I was very skeptical. I don't know, like ticks. I hate ticks, so I don't like spring hunting. I'd rather turkey hunt. I mean, I know there's ticks there, but I don't know. Yeah, just never been a big bear guy. So, anyways, off topic there, but seeing those bears, you're just looking at them like, holy cow, these things are massive.
They could destroy me if they wanted to.
Yeah, one swipe.
Seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So that was super cool. Just being able to see those, the snowshoe hares, the foxes. Mark shot a silver fox. That was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I didn't get to do any duck hunting there. I really wanted to, but just with the luck of not killing anything and just continuing to hunt every single day, what it felt like. We were just most of the time in the field. But thankfully, Rob and a couple of other guys were able to experience the whole Kodiak experience. So Rob got to kill a deer on the first day, go fishing the next day, go duck hunting. And, there in Alaska, those sea ducks, there's some really sought after ducks. So he got to do that. And then on the last day, like when we went out and hunted for me, 4 of the other guys went and fished this river for like salmon, and they had a really good time. So I'm so happy that trip was everything for Rob. Like we said, like that was our whole goal, was just to make it the most memorable experience. And so anyways, for those who are listening, like Rob's doing great. He's been just kicking cancer's butt. His last scan is coming up here. I don't know when this is going to release, but December 22nd. So we'll hear more. I mean, he's been looking great. He's been working out. I mean, he's just, incredible.
That's awesome.
It's the amount of work that he's just been putting into this, and just how he said, like, I don't want to be labeled as some cancer patient, is just, crazy.
Is the GoFundMe still active?
I think it is or isn't. I don't know, actually. I was the one who put it together, actually, and I haven't checked. I mean, I don't look at it anymore. I mean, we all did our donations from when we started, and then I basically transferred everything to his wife, so I haven't really looked at it or whatnot. I mean, since the last month or two, things have gotten much, much better.
Good.
But yeah, I mean,
if it's still something, let me know. I can link it to the show.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll look at it when we get done with this podcast and we can see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like mission successful.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome. That's just the cool part about this job, is we're not just coworkers here, we're family. Like, I've been working with Rob for everybody here, right? Rob and Steve, 8 years. We're just, we're family. We love each other, and we're going to do anything for each other.
That's awesome.
How we doing?
We're doing good.
Okay.
So, we'll leave it there for Kodiak, because I know you're putting out a film.
Yes. So that film,
stay tuned.
Yeah, for those listening, that film, we're going to basically shoot for it to come out before February. February is when Hunt Expo in Salt Lake City happens. And it's always cool. Like, so last year we did our other hunt series project. And so we released that in February of this year. And it was just really cool to like have people watch it and then come see us at the trade shows and then just talk about it, ask us questions, advice, things like that. So we're going to kind of do that for this one, just, release it and then have people talk about it with us. It's just something cool to, not only talk about our packs, that we're have it on display or anything like that, but just talk about other stuff too. So roughly you can expect it before February.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm actually working on the 2 mule deer hunts I did this year.
Yeah.
Both my bucks, working on those videos. And that was my goal too, because I'll be at Salt Lake as well.
Yeah.
So just running into people and stuff. So it'd be cool to get that out. And then
you had a heck of a year too, man. That was awesome.
It was fun. I got 2 mule deer bucks that I'm really happy with. I have my toxic trait is like I compare myself to others who like I aspire to be like. Some of these guys I talk to, not even just like in the industry, some guys barely even on social media.
Right.
They just chase 190s, 200-inch bucks.
Oh yeah.
So I'm trying to get there, but I also know it's like anything. You don't start there. It just takes time. So I was really happy with the 2 4-points that I killed. One with my bow in the high country in Colorado, and then one when I moved here in Idaho. That was pretty sweet. But both really, at the end of the day, I want the best experience.
Yep.
Both hunts were backpacking in, spiking out, deep in the backcountry, and packed them out.
That's awesome, man.
That's how I like to do it.
Heck of a season. Yeah, that's awesome. It's all about the hunt is the experience at this point. Like, I don't mean to talk about myself too much. I mean,
no,
but we're here. I went on a mule deer hunt in October of this year. Went with a good buddy of mine, Clayton. He used to work at First Light. But yeah, he and I have just been buddies for a while, and we've been talking about doing a hunt together. And we backpacked in. It was just this incredible hunt. And yeah, we were able to spot these, mule deer up, and 2 really nice bucks, and then a forky as well. And we hightailed it up this mountain and ended up shooting them. And I ended up getting the 4-point confused with the 2-point. And like for a split second, I mean, I know I talked about it, how like Kodiak, I was kind of holding out for a bigger one. I don't know. I definitely have mixed opinions sometimes, like obviously I'm not a trophy hunter. I don't want to just shoot something to shoot something, but your goal is as a hunter, like to shoot the more mature one. It's a little bit more difficult, and all of that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about what you get done with it. You get the meat out of it, and that's the beauty part about it. So anyways, we shoot those deer, and like for 5 seconds, I was like, oh man, like I shot the wrong buck. But, my buddy was just like, dude, like, we were able to spot these deer. We backpacked in. I mean, we shot them at like 10,500 feet elevation. We were up there. And he got his nice buck. It was really cool. It was just that whole experience, like is what he reminded me about. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like this was awesome. It was a great 4-point or a great forky. But I ended up actually getting somebody who commented. I posted the picture.
I saw.
Did you? Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Did the comment? Yeah. Somebody was like, it's a shame you'd smile with a forky. And yeah, I mean, like when I got home too from that hunt, like I even told my girlfriend, Emily, I was like, yeah, I mean, I meant to shoot the 4-point. And, I kind of told her the whole story. And, as a non-hunter, like she loves that I hunt, but she's never gone out with me. She literally was like, there's a forky that you just shot in your cooler and everything. Like, admire it, value its life. And like right then and there, I was like, you know what, you're right. Just, I was stoked. And, so yeah, anyways, I replied back to that guy, and he ended up, deleting his comment or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's all about the experience, and dude, yeah, you had one heck of a hunt, man. Like, yeah, 2 4-points. That's awesome. That's great.
I'm stoked. And to what you said though, with the experience, I always think back to this story too. So in 2023, I was still living in Pennsylvania, had 3 weeks off work.
Yeah.
2 weeks was going to be to hunt the West. We drew mule deer tags, my dad and I, and this was that end of October. So second season. I had this other week, and I don't really do much else besides this and like run and exercise. So I was like, what am I going to use this extra week for? So in August, I went out there to that unit in Colorado and just scouted. I was like, how awesome is that? Solo backpacking, might as well go scout my deer unit, right? So I found a few spots, got on some deer, and it was challenging too because it's August, and I'm like, where are these deer going to be in late October? But do the best you can, kind of figure out what the migration might look like if we get weather, if we don't get weather, whatever. So I went back out there with my dad and my friend. He picked up the OTC elk tag, and we backpacked in. It was actually the second evening because we moved spots. We got a big snowstorm. It was incredible, type 2 fun. But we go to this other spot, and first evening we get set up, and before we go any further, I can't believe it's been this long. So I'm talking about my dad, and we need to shout out Weston Homa before we go any further.
I know.
So that's, you're his best friend.
Right? Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know, like that's how you and I got linked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad has been a customer of ours for quite a few years, and yeah, he would just call the Exo line. He wouldn't even call my direct line, but he would just call the Exo line, and obviously it's just myself who really picks up the phone. But he's like, "Big Jake, this is Dwayne from PA." Every time he would call me, and I'd love it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that's a really cool thing about my job. Is just kind of develop these relationships and just not and with. I've never met your dad in person still, but you just develop these relationships.
He'll be
So
visiting. We'll fix that.
that's awesome. So shout out Dwayne. Love your
He
dad.
killed a great bull this year. I'm sure
Yeah.
he sent you pictures.
Yes, he has.
Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was awesome. But this hunt, we get up there, and I'm like, all right, Dad, I don't know, just go up on that ridge. Like, he's like, okay, that rock, that's gonna be my rock. Like, I'm like American Sniper. That's what he said. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I go up on this other ridge. Like 2 hours goes by, and then I hear pow, and I'm like, oh my God, that had to have been my dad. There's nobody out here.
Yeah.
We're backpacked in and everything. So I get down there eventually, and then I do see him, and I'm like, okay, like it looks like he's he's on something. He's away from the spot where he shot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I walked up on him, and it was this forky buck.
Yeah.
And it was the most awesome experience because he was so stoked.
Yeah.
And then I'm helping him quarter it, and it's getting dark. It was freezing cold, dude. We were doing like hill sprints and then come back to like finish the rear quarter.
Yeah.
Like we were just freezing, but it was just the most amazing experience.
That's awesome, man.
And if anybody would say anything about that being a forky or something, like I can't, that just grosses me out. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
that experience, priceless.
Well, yeah, especially hunting with your dad. I mean, my dad's my best hunting partner for life, forever. Like it's just so awesome to be able to, do stuff like that with your dad. I'm sure, yeah, you were able to just, enjoy the heck out of it. It's so much fun, dude.
Absolutely. Well, segue.
Okay.
Experience. That's what we're all about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to get into this hunt with you because I feel like this encapsulated a lot of overcomings. It was a great adventure.
Yeah.
Your goat hunt.
Yeah.
And I read the article.
Okay.
Western
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And then obviously it's on YouTube and stuff so people can go watch it. But we want to dive into this hunt a little bit because it looked like an incredible experience. And even you start the article off with like, oh, I'm a little bit afraid of heights.
Kind of exposing myself, honestly.
Yeah. So let's hear it.
Yeah, man. So another thing, kind of how I talked about it at the start of this podcast, like if I couldn't have gone to Alaska as many times as I have without the help from Steve. So like that whole opportunity for going on this mountain goat hunt, Steve was actually the person who was supposed to go on it. And then, end of last year, we were actually acquiring our sew shop. So Steve had to be here for all of the paperwork and all of that. So he told me, he's like, hey, I want to send you to Alaska, go on this mountain goat hunt. But the way he phrased it, when we were at the old office, he like got out of the bathroom. He came into my office. He's like, are you still afraid of heights? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. Or no, I think he's like, cool. And then walks away. And I'm like, what was that supposed to be? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've just always had like a little bit of a fear of heights, like that vertigo feeling. I get it from my old man. I could do roller coasters just fine, but it's just like that feeling of like where like roller coasters, you're strapped in, right? But if you're on like a knife ridge or whatever, and there's a lot of exposure on the other end, like there's no trees or anything like that, I'll just get really dizzy or whatever. So like the reason he knew that is like we were doing a death hike. That's something that we do with Exo. Every year we do like a big hike or whatever. We did it in a couple times where I got a little bit wigged out was once in Alaska and then once in the Frank Church Wilderness here in Idaho. And there was like a couple times where like my footing I'd feel unbalanced and, just get a little woozy. But anyways,
and if people haven't done it, it's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
There's a couple times in Colorado this year, and I'll have it on my YouTube, but I am on a knife, 13,000 feet on a knife ridge that's way like not as wide as this table.
Yeah.
And it's straight drop on both sides. I probably didn't have to
my hands are
do
sweating
that.
just thinking about that.
No. But I just wanted to go for it. But it's I'll never say it's not, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I had a few people actually reach out to me and like say, oh yeah, like I have that same feeling too. Like props to you.
So it's funny, and I hated roller coasters when I was younger.
Really?
Like it just freaked me out or whatever.
Well, that's a funny thing too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, Justin, the guy who filmed the whole experience project, like and edited the whole thing, so he's just an animal. He can do those hunts and no fear when it comes to hiking on this side of knife ridges. But we went to Vegas for SHOT Show this year. He couldn't. We forced him to get on that roller coaster. Steve and I are front row, hands up in the air, and Justin's closing his eyes, freaking out. So it's just so funny, like how it's just roles reversed immediately. Yeah. Whereas like that time we're out there, he's yeah, he's just giving me words of encouragement. Like there'd be times, man, where there'd just be like this bluff, and I'd like look over, and you can see the bottom straight down. And yeah, I mean, there was never a part where I was like in danger, but it was just mind over matter. And
Right.
so like that whole hunt was just coaching myself through it. Like, you're fine, you're fine. But there was just like, you'd be on this ridge, and everybody, I've been on steep mountains plenty of times in my life, but you'd be, feeling like you're just, at an angle the whole time. And then just, add the alpine and just steep drop off. And there's times where if you come around this corner and you don't know what's on the other side, there could just be a, 30-foot drop off
100%.
cliff. So anyways, yeah, Steve surprised me with this hunt, and yeah, we went out there. So it was me, or yeah, Mark and I who had tags. Mark's the one who's my boss. He's been on that hunt before. He went in 2022 and shot a really nice goat, and that's actually on our YouTube page as well. They fought hard on that hunt. I think they hunted 10 straight days until finally killing one. So yeah, we went up there, took the ferry up there. I mean, it was just a really cool experience, just the travel up to Alaska, just typical Alaska fashion. I mean, weather is everything. So we ended up getting delayed like 1 or 2 days going in there. And then, yeah, we get to camp, or we get to the lodge. Yeah, it was just different because you're packing 80 to 90 pounds of gear just going in, because we're going in for 5 or I think, no, we actually packed for 8 days. Like, we were just going to go in and just go on one mountain. If we see stuff, great. If not, we're going to come down. We're going to, relocate, go up there. So, I mean, we were going in for quite a while. But yeah, we packed up gear. I mean, I definitely had a lot of questions like, do I need this or do I need that? And, the biggest one was crazy. Like, we're in October in Southeast Alaska. 9 times out of 10, it's either going to be snowing or raining. And so the guide was like, I wouldn't bring anything but rain pants and like some light base layer. And I, for some reason, couldn't get my head around that. I was like, so you're telling me I don't need like a lightweight pant for walking around
Just like a
camp?
hiking pant. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Right.
And I never trained with, so imagine, putting on an 85-pound pack, and then you get off, you start hiking, and it's just boom, straight up.
Right.
You don't, like, over that, in that country, you don't talk about mileage, you just talk about elevation.
Right.
It took us like 6 hours to go 1.9 miles. That just goes to show like how steep and thick that terrain is. But yeah,
You can see it in the video too. Is that Devil's Club?
yeah. Actually, I don't know I know it's Devil's Club and just a bunch of other stuff mixed in.
You're crawling through it like.
You're crawling through it like by the end of the hunt, my shins were bruised just from hitting all the branches and everything. It was funny, but yeah, you don't train with. Well, now I know. Like, I'll tell anybody who is going on that type of goat hunt or something similar, is like, train with wearing a pack and rain pants, and like that's your only thing, because that's how we hunted for 5 straight days, is just hunting in rain pants. And they breathe pretty well because they have the zippers on each side, and then you have like a lightweight synthetic bottom, kind of wick that moisture. But that was just like, oh wow, so I'm not packing anything other than that, and puffy pants too.
What pants did you use?
It was like the First Light Omen pants.
Okay.
So I mean, it's
Curious.
their high end. Any I say like high end, or and the heavier duty ones, so like the 4-layer, so like Kuyu, Sitka, they all make one. Anything like that with like some hip vents, because you don't want something that's thinner, because it'll rip immediately.
Yep.
Then even Justin's actually ended up ripping, and he had the Omen pants too. And I mean, it took a lot of wear and tear for those to rip, but you just want something that's very, very durable on that type of hunt. So yeah, we hiked in, or we have a whole video on this. Like, you can see, it's a 2-part video. We boated in, then hiked up, got up to this camp, and this camp was just so incredible. It's like we kind of scale this rock boulder cliff face thing, and then we get to like this patch of trees, and it's like the only one flat piece of ground on this side of the mountain. So we were able to throw
Camp.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is it right here.
No option.
So yeah, we pitched up our tents. Justin and I shared a tent, and then Mark and the other Mark, our guide, they had their own solo tents. And it was cool. We were able to glass a couple nanny and kids across, and like right then and there, they're talking about the game plan and everything. And it's like, from our view, you can just see cliff, and those nanny and kids are literally perched right on top of a cliff. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like. Just the thought of shooting one right there and then approaching it, getting to it, like retrieving it away from the cliff, just didn't like it. But yeah, I just kept having to tell myself, like, you're here, there's no backing out. Like, Steve sent you on this hunt. You've got these 3 other guys who dedicated their time away from their families, money and all of that. Like, we're here. So it was just constantly going
Zero
through my head.
instant mentality.
Exactly. And then the next day, I mean, this hunt went sort of quick, kind of. I mean, it still took a while. So then the next day, we continued to gain elevation. We were basically going to shoot for snow line, which was 4,000 feet. At the time, we're like 4,200 feet. And I was basically in the back the whole time just because those guys could out hike me like crazy. And then also just taking my time a little bit more. But I mean, I kept up with them. I was just 10 yards behind. And then all of a sudden, we start making our way up, and our guide, kind of gives us some hand signals and everything. And he signals that there's two billies up there. And yeah, they're just perched right on top of the mountain and everything. And so we kind of skirt alongside of the mountain a little bit more, just kind of get in a good position. And it was super cool too. Mark, my boss, like going into it, he was like, "You're first shooter." I love that. I mean, just that devoting that to me was just great. Like, he was selfless, and he's like, "I've already been on this once," but I mean, he's already taking the time away from his family and everything to do this hunt. Like, so he was more than willing to be the first shooter, but he was just, super cool that he was like, "Hey, you're a first shooter." I was like, great. Now, we hadn't discussed if we were going to double up or not. I mean, we're, way back in the Alaska backcountry. I mean, we are so far in. It was an unreal, just with the amount of boat rides, or, the travel it took with the boat and everything, and then hiking in. So we got set up, ranged, everything like that. And you got prone, settled. And like, while I was doing that, Mark got his gun set up too. And we were kind of debating, like, do we double up? Tomorrow's going to be a really crappy day with weather. And the guide was like, what would Steve say if we didn't double up on these goats? He's playing that in the back of his head. So we ended up making the decision that, yeah, if I shoot mine and it stops, and it drops dead, and the other one gives a good shot opportunity, Mark will take the shot. And that's exactly what happened. I shot mine, he dropped, rolled over, struggled for like 20 seconds, then boom, expired. The amount of emotions that was going through, like, it was just crazy.
And I wanted to ask you that too, because you can see in the video, you're getting on the gun, you dry fired. What's that like going through your mind when it's like, I'm on this mountain in Alaska, and there's a goat, and I'm about to make this happen? Like, that's just...
Yeah, don't mess it up is what was in my mind.
Right.
Like, we've hiked all this way. I definitely, like, I could have taken maybe like 4 or 5 more seconds behind the gun as squeezing through. But I mean, I felt so rock solid. I already dry fired, like I knew it was going to happen. And that goat just had, given me such a great shot opportunity. I took it off safety, 1, 2, 3, and then I shot basically after taking it off safety, I took 3 seconds. But yeah, I mean, that whole time, man, there's just so much emotion kind of going through me, like, what's going to happen, and don't mess it up, basically. And so when I shot him, I was just like, oh, wow. Like, I was shaking, I was kind of like emotional in a way, and they're like, look through the scope, and you can see me. I'm not looking through my scope. Thankfully, the goat was dead, and, I did see it, but I did get back into it, 5 seconds later, and I watched Mark shoot his, and his dropped. And so, I mean, they're literally dead right next to each other, 10 feet away. And it was just like, whoa, that just happened. And then immediately it was like, wow, we have a lot of work to get done.
Right.
But it was really cool. I mean, Justin, we hugs all around, and, I was just super thankful for all those guys. Like, this is my first epic, you see, I went to Kodiak in 2021 for the deer hunt, but this goat hunt was just, that was the most difficult hunt I've been on. And it was just super, super cool. Like I said, the amount of emotion that was going through me was unreal. I mean, we were able to, high five, hug, walk up, get to our goats. And that's like kind of right when we got to Snowline. And I hadn't eaten in a little bit, so I was definitely getting a little hungry. I was probably a little bit dehydrated too, just because with it being so cold up there, you don't remember to drink as often. So finally, when we got up to there, it's slick with the snow, and then it starts getting a little bit steeper. And all of a sudden, I kind of get a little bit sick in my stomach, like, vertigo kind of kicking in a little bit. And I remember Justin telling me, like, you need to eat. Let's get some food in you. And so I finally got some food in me, and we were able to get next to the goats and everything. And I was good. I mean, yeah, putting your hands on that goat, and it was just incredible.
That's what I want to ask you. So, like, you get up there, now you're feeling okay. You get up there, you're with Mark. It's hitting you. You doubled up. That backdrop in that shot, the picture you have, everything going on at that time. What's going through your mind, dude?
Yeah, honestly, it was just pretty. Yeah, I mean, it was just soaking it in. That's all it was. It was just thinking to myself, like, how awesome is this? like it was just incredible to be able to do this with two guys I hang out with, talk to all the time, and then our guide. I mean, he's a really good friend of ours actually through Exo and the community and everything. But just to be able to experience that and knowing that not that many other people can experience or have experienced that is unreal. And just thinking to myself, like, I had doubts going into it this whole time, and being able to know that I accomplished that was unreal. And yeah, I mean, the photography, I mean, just being able to look back at these photos, Justin's able to take some epic photos. Just to look back on is super cool. To be able to show everybody back at home is awesome. So yeah, some really cool photography that was taken on there, and just the backdrop shows like what you see on that side of the mountain on the cross is exactly what we were basically hiking on. Just this steep, rugged, gnarly, mountain, and then you've got the river at the bottom, and just it drops straight off. It was really cool, and then the work begun.
Exactly, and so amazing. But I appreciate, and also in a hunt film, I want to see it all. I want to see it all, the pack out, the everything, not just like, okay, we got the animal and that's it, thanks for watching. Like, there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
And you guys did a great job of showing all that. It looked like a pretty rough go to getting out of there, weather coming in. You got, I imagine, the whole goat on your back. Like,
yeah, so we decided, so obviously, like, we were hesitant of shooting 2 goats, but then it was like, well, we're going to do it because the weather was going to come in, the water levels were going to drop, so we weren't sure if we were going to make it out with the boat okay. So we're like, let's make it happen, and we're gonna make this, we're gonna give it all we got. And so we skinned them, caped them, got all the meat, dropped down, basically took everything to our camp, and that was a nightmare already. We were getting tired and just going through all that brush and trying to make sure we went exactly the way. I mean, Onyx using that tracker tool was ideal, being able to follow our exact trail. Because if you get off a little bit in the dark, I mean, you don't want to run into a bluff or anything and then have to backtrack your way over. So
especially in that thick Devil's Club, like,
you can't see where you're going.
Spun around in the daylight.
You really could.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, Mark, our guide, he's been doing this for 15 years, or maybe even more. And so he knows his way, he knows how to navigate and everything. And it was really, it was incredible to see him kind of go through that. And then, that last pole going up the hill to our camp was just horrendous. Justin was ready to just be like, I'm done. I'm done. But we got there. Oh man, that peak refill. That was the best thing ever.
Isn't it amazing how good those taste? Like, after something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we cooked that up, and we were like, all right, tomorrow we're going to be getting some weather. And we woke up to quite a few inches. It was like 5 to 10 inches of snow in some areas, and it got cold. We're like, ooh, this is going to be something else. It's going to be a long day of just packing this goat off the mountain. And if it was all flat, it'd take just, hop, skipping and jumping away. But I mean, we had to scale the ridge, go down, and then just kind of navigate. It wasn't just like straight down. If you went straight down, you'd be running into cliffs. We packed up camp, and our packs, everybody's pack was at least 100 pounds or more. I mean, I probably had the least amount of weight because Justin, he's an animal. No trekking poles. I forgot to mention that. He's just got his, high-end camera and then the monopod, and that's what he's using to basically film and then use as a walking stick.
With weight.
So he decides to take like 2 hind. So I had like loose meat, the cape. Mark had his cape, and a quarter, and then everything else was divvied between Justin and I, and then everything for Mark's goat was divvied up between his and his goat, or Mark and the guide. So I mean, we're and then camp. All of our gear, like I said, we packed in for 8 days, and we've only hunted for 3 days, really. So we have a lot of food on our backs, stuff like that. I mean, we definitely ate quite a bit, trying to just go through as much we could. And like that first initial climb out or that pull out was just horrendous. We have everything strapped to us and everything like that, and we're going through, like, we're literally on our hands and knees, kind of crawling through, getting hung up on branches and stuff like that. Finally, we got out, and it's just got a nice little snow coming down, and we're slipping, sliding. Mark called it adult recess. It was so funny. Like, we're sliding around, everybody's taking their turns. Whoop whoop. But it was awesome. And then we finally got below the snow line. And once that happened, it was pretty much smooth sailing. Then it got a little bit interesting on the boat too. So like we finally got to the boat. I was just like, holy cow. Like, you look back up at the mountain, you can't even see where we shot the goats just because the fog rolled in. You can't even see the peak. But you're just like, see where camp was. And you're like, holy cow, like, we just went down that. That was unreal. Really puts into perspective like what we just did. So like with this boat, we're only able to, with full packs and 3 guys, it was just a bunch of kind of back and forth shuttling. And so our guide, he had, a bunch of gas cans. So, after one shuttle, refill the gas, get the other guys, everything like that. So we were halfway through the shuttle, and it was Justin and I and our packs and the guide. And we're going around, and the water levels definitely dropped a whole lot. Like you can see some logs sticking out. And like we're coming around these turns and everything like that. And it just so happened to be like on this one turn that we were on, there was this capsized boat, just abandoned boat on this one side. And like that's right when we're coming around. And we're coming around, and the guide's kind of like looking, and he's looking past, kind of seeing where he wants to go. But like in front of us, there's these logs, like just, sticking out of the water. And I remember, so Justin's right here, I'm to his right, and he looks at me, he's like, surely he sees these, right? I'm like, I think so. And everything's happening so fast. All of a sudden, like he sees it, but we're too late to make a turn. So like he kind of makes a correction, but you don't want to make too much of a correction, because basically what he was looking for is like this, the drift or whatever.
Right.
So basically making sure that we don't capsize either. There's so many things to navigate between. We hit this log. I wish we had it on video, but at the same time, I'm just glad everything's okay. Yeah. We hit this. We thought the boat was going to pop. It didn't. We go over. Justin flies out of the boat, like gets kicked out of the boat. I had a split second to just grab onto anything I could. I literally have his ankle, his 2 ankles are, just wrapped in between my left arm. And he's in the water, like basically his shoulder's in the water, and the camera's up. Everything that's on, film is right here. So I like grab him, bring him back in. And our guide's just like, holy cow, I'm sorry guys. Great reflexes. So we end up getting like dropped off, so that way the guide can go back and get Mark. And Justin was like, thank you, dude. I mean, we were all wearing life vests and everything. Right. Everything would have been fine. The only part that would have stunk was, losing all that footage. If the camera got, because nothing got backed up. It was just all on that one SD card. And, he still has it out just to, continue to grab footage, B-roll, anything. Yeah. And, thankfully I was able to grab them. And so definitely the hunt or the adventure wasn't over. And then we finally, made it back safe and sound, and we got back to the truck and the boat launch, and we were able to get the boat back safely. And then we were able to relax and decompress.
When you're out there and it's so remote, like I did a bear hunt up in like way northern Quebec a couple years ago. When we were dropped off, it was basically this big lake with all these like little inlets. We were given like those little boats like that. And like I remember the one day I got caught up in a storm like bad, and I had to go. We had no cell service or anything, and like I had to go pick up like another hunter, and like it was unorganized, but it was also like pretty, a little sketch. But just kind of navigating those waters, you don't know always where like a log's sticking up or whatever, and you're not, Med Express isn't right down the street, or like, you know what I mean? Like you're out there and it's remote, and it's like, you have to be on point.
Yeah, you have to be cautious.
Yes.
A little bit. Like you definitely have to watch each step and just make sure, like, because hitting that SOS button is no joke for sure on the inReach. Yeah, but thank goodness we were able to. Everybody was good. Nobody died. Nothing like that. And oh man, I remember there's one memory I will never forget. Like when we got back into the boat, or we got back into the truck, everything's good. We got our gear all in the back of the truck. We're just smoked, exhausted, and we're just in a small town of Alaska here. And our guide's like, I wonder if the burger place is open still. Yeah. And it was like, we started hiking super early in the morning, and it was probably like 4:30 when we finally got back. And so we hightailed it over, and we were able to grab a bite to eat. Had a couple beers. I remember like 2 beers just immediately just put me in a.
Oh, that'll zonk you.
Oh my goodness, man! I remember that. I was just so tired, still dehydrated, so I soaked that right up. But man, that was really good to just have that burger and be like, wow, like cheers, boys! Like we were able to make that happen. That was super cool.
You mentioned it just now, and you mentioned it in the film where you took a second and you looked back up on the mountain where you were, where camp was.
Yeah.
And I feel like going through experiences like that, taking that time to reflect and having that perspective of like what I just did, where I just was.
Yeah.
I feel like, do you pull a lot of confidence from that for the next hunt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's just such a benefit too.
Absolutely. A great question. Like knowing what I did, like I'll still always have like that kind of discomfort in a way, of being in a location like that where you're on this knife ridge, you've got you just steep country below you. You kind of feel that exposure and everything. But knowing what I did, I mean, that was pretty extreme in my opinion as far as where I was. But yeah, I mean, the amount of confidence that I gained from that was great. I think it's just great to keep pushing yourself and stuff like that. Steve, ever since I started with Exo, he's always, been a huge proponent of like doing hard things. And like for a while, like, I used to have a chip on my shoulder, like, whatever, like I do hard things or whatever. But like to an extent, like he's very true. Like we live in a very easy place. This society is just, things are pretty easy. Like we can just live our day-to-day lives, go to the grocery store, pick out what we want, things like that. So it's just a great reminder, it's a good opportunity to be able to do something like that and just, tell your body like you can do these hard things. So that way when something comes up that is, a little bit more difficult, probably not as difficult as hunting, goats in Alaska like that. You just get a reminder that you can do tough things. So anyways, yeah, I mean, it was definitely a huge confidence boost.
I think that's great. And I think a lot of very wise, experienced hunters like Steve will tell you a big key to going into these hunts is you need to be confident. Well, how do you get confident if you're just starting or whatever? But I think that's where you get it. And then it's just this ripple effect that keeps stacking season after season, hunt after hunt, year after year of like, go do it, push your limit, come back, push a little further, build that confidence, and then eventually you get the confidence.
Yeah.
Like Steve has.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, the amount of times that he's done those things. Yeah.
But stacking the evidence is
for sure
the key.
For sure, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely foresee myself doing more hunts like that in the future. It was, again, I can't thank him enough for sending me on that hunt. I mean, it was truly a remarkable experience. So, yeah, man, and you guys can see that video. It's a 2-part video. So, like, we did a whole Alaska series project. It's called the Experience Project, where they do caribou. That hunt was incredible. The whole caribou hunt. So that's like 4 episodes. Then the moose hunt is 3 episodes, and then my goat hunt was 2 episodes, or our goat hunt. Yeah, it was super cool then to just talk to people at the trade shows about that and be like, oh yeah, like, I went on a similar hunt like that, or oh yeah, like I get some vertigo too, and it's just great to be able to share that same experience with other folks, and yeah, it was super cool. I loved it.
So we talked a lot today about the experience. We're both hunters of experience. We want a great experience out there. The Experience Project you just talked about, people can go watch that. So it sounds like that hunt and these other hunts you have on the Exo YouTube, that's what Exo is all about, having a great experience.
Yeah. And
talk a little bit more about what that means, and also, would you say that hunt encapsulated a lot of what Exo stands for?
Yeah. We don't care about the trophy photos or, anything like that. I mean, we love the reason we make backpacks is to basically enhance the experience and make it an enjoyable experience. Like just being able to go on those really tough hunts and know that you have a comfortable pack system on your back and that it's going to go through the ringer with you. That's why we build them. Yeah, we don't care about how big of an animal you shot. Again, it's all about the experience and just enjoying the trip out there, and knowing that you have a good, reliable pack system on your back. Yeah, that's us.
And there are a lot of great packs out there.
Oh yeah.
But why should somebody look into Exo?
Oh man, yeah. People always ask me this. It's always funny, like when people call and be like, "What sets you apart?"
Sell me.
And I have a love-hate relationship with that. Because we don't brag about our
right.
we don't say like we're better than this company. Like we don't just say that. But I do say. I mean, we have a good track record. I mean, we've been making packs for almost 12 years now. 13 technically, but yeah, we've been a company for 11 years, almost 12. And that's all we do is we build pack systems. So we don't do clothing, tents, sleeping bags, other gear like that. We just focus on making the best pack system possible. And like I said, we take care of the product, we take care of the customer. We're still privately owned. So Steve still is the sole owner of Exo Mountain Gear. We are owned by a private equity or sold out, and we're not sold in other stores like Sportsman, Shields, Cabela's, things like that. We are direct to consumer, and it's just a really cool yeah, it's still really cool that we're able to be a small company like that and not owned by a larger group to where we don't have to answer to private investors or people like that, where it's, we've set ourselves in a way where Steve's one heck of a businessman. It's incredible with the amount of the decisions that he makes and why he does it. But, we've set ourselves in a spot where, he takes care of the day-to-day stuff, but then then his main focus is designing and just looking in the future for the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. It's really cool just to kind of hear, what goes through his mind and see it all kind of come to fruition. It's incredible. And the way he's kind of structured it with, Mark doing his stuff, me, Justin, Pat, like we all have kind of our quadrants. It's really cool to see us really work as a team. I mean, that's why I love working here so much. But yeah, I mean, and then, we just try our packs out, come see us at trade shows, come try it out, and we have tons of videos to help people out, get fitted and everything. We have videos that we've made called like mistakes videos that like over time in the last 2 to 3 years that, I've collected data from of seeing customers install an accessory wrong or put a pack on wrong, where I tell Steve, and then Steve and I, we actually just released one like 3 months ago where it's Steve and I in this studio right here talking about some pack fit mistakes that I've seen and how we want to correct those. So we're consistent, we're constantly trying to better, you're trying to make things better for the customer just to, be able to experience our pack the way it should be. So yeah, I mean, all that being said, try us out. I mean, we're not going to say we make the best packs, period. Although, I would say I'm biased. I've been here for, like I said, almost 10 years. I love our packs. Our packs fit great. And I'd be happy to help people out, man.
For sure. And it's very cool seeing all the guys here in the shop.
Yeah.
Just everything happening right here.
Yeah,
It's
it really is cool. It was actually really cool. 2 days ago, I don't know if you saw an Instagram post. I did a tour for some homeschool kids.
I did see that.
Yeah. So, this wife, so basically, it's complicated, but we have a customer. He's been kind of a friend or an acquaintance of Exo for quite a while. And he's played in our golf tournaments before. So anyways, he didn't actually reach out to me. His wife reached out to me and she was like, hey, like, me and a couple other moms, we homeschool our kids and we're kind of looking at activities to do, this winter. And we do a lot of tours at facilities and kind of teach the kids, how businesses work. Would you guys be interested in doing that? And I've never done anything like that. So I just sent a quick email to Steve, like, hey, can we do this? And he's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, show him the sew shop too, because that's something we can do now too, since Steve owns the sew shop as well. I was like, heck yeah. So I coordinated with our sew shop manager, and yeah, like it was like 13 kids, 6 moms, and a couple of the dads, because I think some of the dads wanted to see it too.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's Exo. It's like,
I heard chaperone this field trip.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really cool. I met them there, and yeah, I mean the kids were like 5 to 12 years old, so attention span wasn't there all the time. So it was really funny, like trying to like come up with things to like, or talk about things that interest them at the sew shop. But I mean, the sew shop was really interesting for them because they got to see all of the like the presses and the machines that, the laser cutter or anything like that. And anyways, so yeah, then we took them back to the shop here and showed them how things work and, how I do my stuff in the office. I explained a little bit on customer service. I didn't go into the details too much, and then showed, Pat's office. They were, like mind blown with some of the taxidermy that we had here. And then they loved all of the weighted packs that we had in our showroom, and they were trying to put it on, I had 50 pounds in there. And then went into the warehouse, showed them like how a pack was built. That was probably their favorite thing, just seeing how, because, you go to the sew shop and you see all the raw goods get built in components, and they're like, well, how does it get built? And I'm like, I'll show you guys. And so we, show and kind of show the process from start to finish. It was really cool. So yeah, man, I mean, it's just really cool to be a Idaho company made here in the U.S. and everything done here. It's awesome. I love it.
That's so cool, especially showing kids at a young age.
Yeah.
All that aspect.
Yeah.
The gear, the outdoors, showing people working with their hands.
Yeah.
I think is really neat. The entrepreneurship side, like this is our business, all great stuff.
Yeah,
That's
man,
so
it was incredible. That was the first like real tour that I've done before like that, because like we've showed people just here, but like being able to include our sew shop was really cool. So I definitely see more of that in the future. Yeah, it was awesome. It really like made me realize like, wow, I mean, I know it every day coming in here, like how lucky, how lucky we are to be able to come in and do what we love. But then just to see the whole step-by-step process from start to finish is great. I love it, man.
Jake, what's new and coming up and exciting should we expect from Exo?
Oh man, stay tuned. I mean, I can definitely let a little bit out. We're working on a new pack right now. It's going to be called the K4X. We've talked about it a little bit on our podcast, so I'm just going to say what we've said there and nothing more. But basically, it's going to be an ultralight version of the K4. So right now we have the K4 system. It's been tried and true. We've had it out for roughly about, well, to the public, almost 3 years. But we did a huge, extensive prototype deal beforehand. It's basically like 3.5 years prior. We've had 150 prototypes out there. So I mean, we really put it through the ringer before releasing it to the public. And just the ability of being able to do what we want to do, and with obviously owning our own sew shop and Steve being our lead only designer, he's able to do these projects that he's always been wanting to do. So this one, the K4X, is just an ultralight version. So it's going to be, lighter, less features, things like that, than what the standard K4 has. We're going to be selling them side by side. Definitely stay tuned. We're going to be releasing more information in like January, February. So for those that are listening and are inclined to this new pack, this ultralight pack, it's really going to be meant for like the ultralight mountain goat, sheep, ultralight, high country mule deer hunters, like those guys. So it's like we're testing different materials, buckles, things like that. You can visit exomountaingear.com/K4X, and that'll basically take you to what we have so far on the landing page. And then basically there's going to be a little section where you can put your email in, and we'll send out emails as far as getting ready for that. And then, stay tuned to like our podcast, because that's where Steve talks about it much more. And that's, his whole project. But yeah, that's what we're working on for next year. But I can assure you, like we've talked about 27, we've talked about 2028.
Oh, for sure.
So it is super cool to know like what more we have in the pipeline, and what's soon to be coming out. Yeah, I mean, just it's awesome, man. I love coming in here and being able to talk about those things with Steve and kind of throw ideas back and forth and see things come together. So I'm excited for next year's release, and then the next 2, 3, 4, 5 more years.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, stay tuned. Before we wrap up, I brought you I got some new hats.
What the heck?
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude. Thank you.
Got to get you an official. You're a sponsored athlete now,
dude.
So run the rack.
Wow.
There you go.
Thank you, man. I feel like I'm on like the Sean Ryan podcast where he gives his guests.
Yeah. What's he give, like gummies or whatever?
There's like guns and stuff too.
Okay. Well,
so I'm glad.
Funny you say that. No,
right? Thank you.
But no, I had that in the pack. I was like, I want to make sure
dude,
give that to you.
Appreciate it.
And then where can people find you, Exo?
Yeah, so exomountaingear.com. Our Instagram's at Hunt Backcountry. Our YouTube's at Exo Mountain Gear. And then our podcast is Hunt Backcountry Podcast as well. If they want to find me directly, my Instagram's just jake.havlicek. I post there every once in a while. Since I manage all of our social media on Exo, I do very little on my personal.
You're posted out by the time you get to your own.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to make a personal post. Like I literally had to like force myself to post something about Kodiak. Like not that I didn't want to, but it's just like I shared it with the people that I cared about the most, but it's really cool to, share it to the people in my family and everything. I don't care if anybody else sees it, but yeah, they can follow me there. But if they want to contact me, shoot me an email, jake@exomountaingear.com. I mean, a lot of people have emailed me, and you can give us a call. If you call the Exo number, you'll talk to me. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming here and doing this podcast. I know it's been something that we've been, like I said at the start, like talking about doing it for 2 to 3 months. So I'm glad we were able to do this. We definitely need to do it again.
Absolutely. I know you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. And let's definitely do it again.
For sure. Everybody go check out Exo, check out Jake. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Hey, if you like that episode, please share it with a friend, share it on your story, and give the podcast a rating and a review on wherever you listen. For more of this type of content, you can head over to the YouTube channel and follow along on all the social platforms. Really appreciate it. See you on the mountain.